Hey guys, so trying a little experiment here with hydroponics. And if you're not familiar, I will explain briefly what I've done. It's called the cracky method, and basically it's a deep water system. So I have two plants here that, as you can see, are kind of established. So this one here, I started from seed, and that's rock wool down the bottom, and then I just put some stones in, just regular stones that you get from any craft store or hobby store. Basically it was just to keep the plant from flopping around inside the net cup. Now this here plant, like I said, I started from seed and it grew very well, but this was a plant that I started from cuttings. Now some of these lower branches need to be trimmed because they died off, but they were the original branches that I kept for the to help the plant survive and have its energy. But basically, what's in the bottom there is rock wool, and it's probably one of the two things that I would say I had to buy. Well, one of the three things actually that I had to buy specifically for this. One was the rock wool to grow the plant in, but I don't necessarily know that that's even true. You just need something that the plant to suspend the plant in the cup while it grows. So I'm sure there's some other stuff you could use. But then there was these net cups. Now I used 3-inch net cups. I believe you could go smaller and maybe put a couple of plants, in each bucket. And then the other thing was nutrients. So I went with a 1-part nutrient solution. I will show that and post a link in the video below. But this is what I got after 3 weeks. Okay, so this is the plant, its growth. I'm gonna say I lied. I think it's more closer to 4 now. So I got the plant, and as you can see, there's all these roots. Now the roots basically do two things. One, they go down in the water to get the nutrients, and it's important that you have the nutrients, otherwise the plant doesn't grow. It won't die because the roots will be in the water, so it'll get some vitamins. Now we have well water, but the roots grow down and they get the nutrients. So the solution that you put in there is basically just all the stuff that the soil would give it that the water is lacking. So the cutting, now I noticed it took an extra couple of days, but look how vigorous that root growth is. It's absolutely amazing. This one has already started. So this is a new shoot. I had cut this down to just one or two leaf nodes at the bottom, the old ones that had died off. So this one's just starting to take off. This one, however, was started from seed, and it is definitely, it's definitely pushing its energy to go higher. Now, like I said, there was 3 things: the net cup, the nutrients, and the rock wool. The rest of this stuff, so I put in a cat litter bucket, obviously, and I've tried pickle buckets. The problem with the pickle buckets is the snaps, if you want to look to see where your water level is, are a little difficult, and sometimes they disturb. Where with the cat litter buckets, you can just lift this up and you can see what's going on in there. The other thing is that every once in a while I have to, especially like last night, we had a rain, real decent rain here. So I had to come out this morning and check to make sure that the rain hadn't filled the buckets up. There needs to be a little bit of an air gap for the plant. So by having that gap, some of the branches will get oxygen. In soil, normally the roots will, up near the top of the soil, the roots will have build their own little air gaps. But with this system, you got to make sure that there's a little bit of an air gap at the top. And then I just mixed the hydroponic solution as the directions said, which the one I got, which I'll show you in a second, is two tablespoons per gallon of water. And so far, doing pretty well. So I was so happy with these two that I started a couple more from seed. And what I'm doing is I'm gauging the ones that were started from seed versus the ones that were started, or the one that was from cuttings. I want to see, so these are both the same tomato seed. So I want to see how fast they get, and I want to see if one performs better. So is it better to go from cuttings or from seed? They have the same factors, they're in the same location, they got the same food and everything, so just want to see which one does better. So far, this plant I think looks healthier, but this plant here actually has a better root growth. So I don't know if the root growth is better because it was a cutting, or if the seed roots just weren't as strong in the beginning, and they'll come on in in the next few days. But we'll see what happens, and I'll keep you guys apprised. I'll be doing updates throughout this growing season. I was very happy with the way this all, like I said, the way this all went down, that I actually started 2 more buckets. So I'm going to run 4 buckets, and I'm going to see if these produce as much tomatoes as these do. See if there's any difference in the bucket. So this is, obviously these are cat litter buckets, so there is going to be some algae growth inside, where this bucket, a pickle bucket, is a little thicker, and there won't be any algae growth in there because it's a very dark bucket, and it actually blocks out light. So we'll see how that goes. And like I said, I'll be doing update videos throughout the growing season. So if you guys are interested in following the progress on my hydroponic tomatoes, feel free to like the video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you see every time I update a new video. Alright guys, thanks a lot, and leave any comments below or any questions you have.